Our social norms and the ways we're raised to either lean into our sexuality or repress it have a huge impact on how we experience our sexuality and how we report it in studies. People raised as men in our society have been typically given more permission to speak openly about wanting sex, while young women have often been told not to express their sexuality. You've probably heard things like this: men get turned on at the slightest provocation and are ready to have sex anytime, anywhere, while women tend to want sex less often and have to be in the mood. For years, that's been the widespread belief: men just have higher sex drives than women. Our sexual interest is driven by many factors, including not only biology, age, and use of medications, but also by situation, for both men and women, he says. Sexual attitudes are affected significantly by societal and religious attitudes. If you've been told that expressing your sexuality is bad, over time that will impact your sense of whether you should be doing it or not. Despite stereotypes, a significant proportion of men, as many as 1 in 6, regularly have low levels of sexual desire, meaning low enough for the person to see it as a problem. A 2010 review of multiple studies found that approximately 14% to 19% of men regularly and reliably indicated that they had problematically low or decreased sexual desire. Men aren't walking robots that want to have sex at the drop of a hat. We often don't give men permission to talk about the things that lead to low sex drive, such as relationship dynamics, stress, exhaustion at work, parenting, and the chores and daily grind of. It's hard to gauge whether men really want sex more than women when you're interviewing either men or women in isolation for research. If a man says he wants sex more than his female partner does, how do you know she'd see things the same way? Gender norms about sex drive are outdated in a lot of ways, she says. If there's something about the way you experience desire that falls in line with a stereotype, that's fine, but so many of us fall outside of these limited boxes. There are men whose interest in sex ranges from low to none, to very high, and it's the same for women. As humans, we vary, and as long as your sexual expression is in a healthy way that feels good and right for you, and your partner's, chances are your experience is normal. Multiple studies show that men's and women's sexual desire levels are more similar than different. There has not been much research on levels of desire in transgender and non-binary people. Couples who are sexually satisfied tend to understand that it's about more than just intercourse. And studies show that they usually get intimate with each other at least weekly. A regular schedule isn't a prescription for instant bliss. But getting physically close to your partner often can be a sign that you two are in a healthy place. Knowledge can equal sexual bliss. Learning more about each other's physical erotic zones, how much stimulation you need, and what turns you on can take your sex life to new heights. Physical contact is a powerful tool that builds connection and trust. Sex therapists use a technique called sensate focus. It's an exercise that explores how different kinds of touch make you feel. It also eases the pressure off reaching a sexual goal like orgasm or penetration. Practicing sensual touch can help partners get closer and make intimacy more pleasurable. Studies show that couples who aren't honest about what they do and don't enjoy in the bedroom are more likely to feel dissatisfied. So tell each other if your libido is lagging or you have trouble getting to orgasm. Let your partner know, too, if you feel self-conscious about your body or if anything makes you uncomfortable. Sessions with a certified sex therapist can improve intimacy issues by helping you communicate better, guiding you through touch exercises, and educating you about arousal and desire. If your problems stem from other issues, talk therapy may also benefit your whole relationship. Sex has no normal. What you like, how often you want it, and how important it is to you is different for everyone. Your libido and priorities can change over time with age, physical health, and the pressures of daily life. Couples who stay curious and flexible about their sex needs tend to feel better about themselves, which in turn paves the way for a more fulfilling sex life. As you age, your body takes longer to respond to sexual stimulation. Lower testosterone levels in older men can make it harder to get and keep an erection. A drop in estrogen during menopause can lead to dry vagina and slower arousal in women. Try and set aside ample time to enjoy sex with each other. Could your sex life be stuck in a rut? Try out different positions, moves, touches, and stimulations to bring back the spice. The new techniques also may heighten sensations so that you can climax more often. Research shows that couples who care about satisfying their partner and who take joy from the other person's pleasure are happier in the sack. This might mean having sex more often than you're used to, doing it at different times than is normal for you, or acting out your partner's sexual fantasies. Practice makes perfect. When you do things that increase the feel-good endorphins in your body from sex, exercise, laughing, making art, or any activity that brings you joy, you build and beef up the response pathway that helps you feel aroused more easily. Some people might view using lubrication to ease dryness or propping their position with a pillow during sex as an admission that they need help to turn their partners on. But the opposite is true. The more attentive you are to the comfort of your partner and yourself, the better your experience. It may sound like a mood killer, but researchers at the University of Toronto found that couples who believe that hard work and effort, not finding a soulmate, is the key to a great sex life enjoyed a happier intimate relationship. Photographic or literary erotica can heat up the bedroom for some couples. But a heavy pornography habit can stunt some men's ability to get an erection and achieve orgasm with their partner. Porn also sets unrealistic expectations of what real-life sex is like. That can chip away at their partner's self-esteem and hurt the relationship. Climaxing isn't the goal of every sexual encounter. For some partners, it can create a lot of pressure. Touching in sensual ways or connecting in whatever form works for you and your partner is enough to build closeness. Understanding where your partner's sexual starting point is can go a long way toward fulfilling sex. Some people, usually men, can get in the mood instantly and without stimulation. Others, often women, need a cue to get aroused. Accommodating those differences can boost your mutual satisfaction.